Welcome to the show, everybody.
All for the ladies. Hey, Rob.
What's up?
What's going on? That threw me off for a second there. I was like, it was a little silence, some awkward silence. Guys,
I was
welcome
waiting
back.
for you. I just assumed that you were going to speak, so I was waiting.
This is the intro, guys, for the first live show we've done in a while. Hey, welcome back to Late Night Chat Network, your one stop for pop culture talk. So get ready for this, guys. We got your 2025 first round of your NHL playoffs. We're gonna do a recap. This it was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and an interesting thing to say the least, because you know it was kind of like a last minute thing. But yeah, it's great with my co-host here, Rob, and you guys. I hope you guys haven't forgotten about us over here. But let me go first and say that it's been quite a while. It's been awesome. Let's see how this works out. I don't need to know blue and white on here, okay? Because I'm gonna start muting those.
I think they're even up 3-1, are they not?
All right, okay. Let's not get into this right now. Okay, now we're gonna have to try to keep everybody tuned in and listening to us. It feels so weird to be on here, guys, live, especially when there's not 20 million people talking. Right? You get me and the old man across from me.
Yeah.
Doing the thing. Rob, everybody loves you. You know that.
And all about hockey.
And JT's just here for a pretty face. So
there you go.
We figured that out, guys. Don't forget, every week we still put out late night comic shop talk. Sorry, not late night, but comic shop talk on the Late Night Chat Network. Okay. And we bring out either a movie teaser trailer reaction video that we do. And also we pick between a movie cast that we do and Letterboxd, which is another show that we bring to you. And it's been interesting. We keep stuff going. And another surprise that I wanted to just let everybody know before we get into this whole hockey shenanigans, but Late Night Mixtapes is coming back once again every Friday. So tune in for those. Everybody, we know how much you like them and appreciate the hard work that goes into them. So make sure to tune in to those and check them out. So, but yeah, how you been doing, Rob? On hiatus?
I've been doing. What about you?
Good. Well, you know what? Trying to keep up with this crazy playoffs that we're dealing with right now. This has been interesting.
It has been very interesting, actually. Yeah.
It's been exciting.
I would
to
say
watch.
at least it's gone good for some teams and obviously not so good for others. But a couple of surprises. No skunk in this first round, so everybody at least got one game in. So not too bad.
Well, oh shit. It's been interesting. It has been a very interesting and exciting first round. I can't say the least, but unfortunately, not all the teams that we want or that we have in our playoff pool that I have that I'm in.
Like your poor Habs.
Listen, I got one player left in the hockey pool that I'm in now, guys, and I'm done. I went balls in. I went all out on this. So this was the fun part about it.
That was a big gamble.
I did. I tend to do that with these stupid fucking, well, not stupid, but these awesome playoffs that we do. But it's with the people. It's like, and I know this is the one with real money. Right off the bat.
That's why you should spread it out between a bunch of teams.
It's nice. It's what I think a draft would have been better. And sorry, I don't know how we would make an altercation to that pool, but that pool is going to be the way it is because it is the Lambeau Cup, and we represent there's a reason and a meaning behind it because of my uncle's brother. So, but we do this every year, We have always, arguments about it and stuff like that. I don't need to argue anymore. I'm done. So all I know is I owe another $100, and that's about it. And that's my $1.
You already know you're going to be last place, eh? With just one player, I would assume you probably would end up last place, unfortunately, unless he goes all the way to the end and he's getting 15
It's not
points.
no McDavid. Yeah, it's not no McDavid, so don't worry about
exactly, it. Exactly, yeah. Who is it against? Duchesne?
Duchesne from Dallas. So,
yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's unfortunately that's all I got. I mean, he could probably average me one player a night, but
yeah. Hey.
Doesn't bother me, bro, one bit.
Boss is checking up on us.
So, yeah, let's get it out of the way. We might as well get the bullshit out of the way. Let's get into we'll go and we'll mention one of the first rounds and how it kind of went down and see how it goes from there. But I'll get my Habs out of the way. Okay, so you can have your blast with it right now and go off about it.
Don't think that I'm gonna bug you about it. I mean, they're Canadian. As far as I'm concerned, I would love to have seen them kick Washington's ass. I really would have. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, I like that. There's at least 3 Canadian teams still in it too, as well. This is probably one of the biggest years for us, I think, in a sense, in a while.
Yeah.
So,
except for the COVID, when all the Canadian teams were pretty much in. That's
why they always
we've ever done. But
that's why they always emphasize how far we got. Is you always remember it's a COVID year, how far Montreal got. So
yeah,
but yeah, that one there, that was it was, you know what, guys? I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting them to make it. They had me on a nail biter right to the last game, so I'm excited about that.
How many teams were they originally? Originally in the NHL? That's 6.
It's 6.
If that's the case.
No, it's easy. Come on.
What do you mean?
Come on. This is a girlfriend. I try to throw a quick question.
How many teams were there originally? Yeah, 6.
And
that was the last time the Leafs won the Stanley Cup when there was only 6 teams.
So let's miss that. Yeah. Exactly.
This is the year. That's what everybody's saying. I got a buddy that's already sitting downtown with a chair waiting for the parade.
Is it me? Was I the buddy?
Yep. You're sitting there with the chair.
Oh no!
Oh what's shit!
I just came on to be the resident Delulu fake fan with my jersey.
Fake fan? You're a Leafs fan, are you not?
I don't know shit about what's going on. I just like the sport. I'm just here for the fun.
Yeah. Shit. Wrong. Hold on. How many teams were there originally? What are you talking about? What do you mean wrong?
Originally,
what you have to explain better. Originally, what the original?
Yeah, maybe when it was like St. Pat's and that kind of stuff. Come on.
Yeah, but even still, it was 6. That's what it is.
I'm pretty sure still originally, but who knows?
Yeah, even though some of them went through name changes.
Yeah,
like Toronto Arenas, and then Toronto St. Pat's, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, so they it's just like changing underwear with them.
Yeah,
actually, they should be changing their name soon. Like okay, so let's back to my Habs.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I wasn't
go back to your Habs. We gotta get his Habs out of the way.
Here and I feel like I should get my jersey out now or just wrap myself in my blanket.
Yeah, what is this?
It's not full. Stop smoking that vape.
Popcorn lung.
Sorry, I'll switch to the blue one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still gonna give you popcorn
lung.
I don't give a fuck.
You're gonna sound like me.
Shit.
I'm just trying to be cooler. I'm just trying to get on your level, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody's on my level. I'm way above everyone.
Yeah. He's on the top level.
You and those pretty ass face.
Oh, but that's before it was NHL. That was before it was NHL, though. So
Siggy, what the hell is that, Siggy? He's going all twang on us.
This one here, it is. She's right, but that's before it was NHL. I'm pretty sure that it was before Chicago and Boston came in. It was Canadian teams probably, but what happened?
Detroit was always part of it too.
I'm gonna let you talk your shit. I'll come back later.
Yeah, you can smoke up some more.
She's gonna creep us from the background.
I gotta go get my cigarettes. I'll be back.
Yeah, your ciggies, your ciggies.
Oh man, but yeah, so yeah, I'll give my Montreal
Yeah,
game.
so you're half. So okay, so they lost 4-1, basically, 4 games to 1. At least they got one in.
We got one in, okay.
You
So that's
got
all
the
that
first
matters.
home game, I think, in, did they not?
Yes.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we lost the second home game. That
Yes.
was fucking close.
And
too.
then that was
That tripped me out. No, it's just still lurking in the background there. That tripped me out.
Yeah.
It's like, what's she gonna do? She got all ready to come on, and then she just disappeared on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the original game, and original series. Sorry, you guys got me all thrown off. See, I knew this chat was gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, I know. I gotta try to keep up with all the comments.
Yeah. So I can't
And
do
pay
these trick
attention to you. Pay attention to you. Pay attention to the comments. Pay attention to
No,
the
I know.
score.
I'm trying- This guy, yeah, I know. This is one of those nights.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got one in there, and you know what? I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting them to play the way they did.
I think it might be.
Yeah, no shit. Eh?
Shit.
But yeah, so we what the fuck was I going with this conversation, guys?
So
Hey, this
we
is
finished.
totally
So we
a-
finished with the so you're Montreal. Unfortunately, we wanted to start there.
Yes, I wasn't expecting them to play the way they did. They played really
Okay.
good. They played a great game. They played against a hard team, obviously a hard fought team, bigger team. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to let them down because they were smaller than the other team. But you know, it was what it was. They took a little bit of a beating. I'm pretty sure it wasn't going to get any easier than that afterwards.
I think they should have started the series with Jack Eye. I think that's just my opinion.
It might have calmed stuff down. I love the Anderson, the whole Anderson, and
Stop shaking right?
the whole Anderson and Wilson thing, that whole heat up I liked. But then, you know, I always like at the end of the game, at the end of the series, when they shake it out, and they talk to each other and everybody's straight up. Like, you know, it was hard to watch David.
Well, once you're on the ice, man, it's business, right?
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard to watch David Savard retire there. That was his last game.
Yep.
So he's going to be retired this year coming now. So, you know, he can fucking finally enjoy his life. He did a lot for this team.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, he did. Absolutely, he did.
He used his body all season long, right, to kind of take away that side for the goalie, to help out the goalie, right?
Yep.
And you know what? You give him credit, right? And, you know, he's put in his time. He's been a great defenseman. He's won a Stanley Cup with Tampa Bay. So, you know, he's got his things all done and stuff. And so I'd like to see who comes back next year, but we'll have to talk about that at a later day. Maybe we'll do a show.
I still think that their future's bright. I mean, they got a lot of young talent, a lot of great talent. So it's
the third year of a rebuild. It's not bad for young kids like that to get into the playoffs stuff. That was the best part about watching it. They were actually excited to be there, and they were talking like a bunch of fucking teenagers on the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were there. Like it meant business, but you know, that kind of business, right? Which is the oldest still in use.
Well, I know at one point it was Pittsburgh's, and I can't remember. I think Pittsburgh got a new one. Did they not?
Yeah, I think it's Boston. Still.
No, I think Boston. I thought Boston got a new one already.
Or isn't Madison Square Garden still up?
Oh yeah, Madison Square. That could be. That's possible. Yeah.
Right. It
Maybe
could be
that's
the
what
Rangers.
it is. Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Although,
I don't get the frequent.
I don't know why, but I thought I heard that at one point that Pittsburgh's was the oldest for a while. I don't know. Is Madison Square Garden? Is it just been redone, or is it actually was there an arena before that? It is Madison Square Garden? Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, see, so I had a feeling. I know that Madison Square Gardens is still around because I hear it all the time.
Oh, I know it's still around, but I just wasn't sure whether they actually had an arena before that too.
Yeah. So that was it. I mean, the players played great. They fought back every fucking period,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy, but they still were able to get over the line. Like watching, I had a hard time watching like Lane Hudson get hit. These little guys that are like, they're high, they're off field getting fucking
Which is
cross
why
checks.
that's why you need Jack Eye on the ice, or at least the presence of him being there, right?
But they always said that this one old man that I used to know from work and used to frequent my store and used to talk about hockey. He said that you can't win a Stanley Cup without a big team. He says if you're going 7 games,
you need some size for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the day, and we'll get to that rest of that question, that thing that he told me. But when we talk about the Leafs, because but yeah, the thing is we have some veteran and we have some crazy. We have a dangerous first line, second line. And then you got the older guys that come in at the end, like Gallagher and stuff like that. So I can't wait to see what the future holds. They're gonna have a lot of money to play with, right?
Yeah.
They gotta figure out the whole goaltending situation, make sure it's solid, because it's Montreal, man.
Yeah.
We gotta do what we gotta do. I can't keep watching these other American teams win the win the Stanley. I mean,
well, it doesn't help that the ratio between American teams and Canadian teams is like. We have 7 Canadian teams versus 25 American teams or whatever the hell it is. So,
no,
of course, 9 out of 10 times it's going to end up in the in America. So, what do you think? First year of the Stanley Cup, I think it's around 1900s or something like that. Could be like 1890 or 1899, 1901, 1902, probably somewhere around there.
Think so? I don't know, man.
I don't know. So I think something.
I'm not that old.
Well, neither am I, but I can read. I know that it's something back then.
I think it's 1893 with Montreal. I think I'm not 100%, but I think.
Don't forget, way back then, Ottawa was actually a team.
Yeah, I think it was 1893.
And then, something like that.
So
you're 1893. There you go. Perfect.
Look at that. Fucking love
that's not bad. That's why I said it was either late 1800s or early 19. So that was that
was Montreal. That was Montreal. My Washington, your Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
All right. So
and then another 4-1 series was the Carolina Devils game.
No, that was 5-1. Sorry. 5-1. You said 4-1. Oh, 4.
Yeah, 4-1.
4-1. Yeah, 5 games. Sorry.
Yeah, in 5 games. In 5 games, but 4-1. Yeah. 4-1 series. Yeah. So good.
Yes, boss.
Yeah,
yes, boss.
You're getting in trouble now.
that's hey, that's what I do best. So so we had the.
I didn't really watch much of the Carolina Devils game at all. I followed, like I said, I followed the highlights or something, but that seemed like Carolina took care of them pretty quickly.
I think just the Devils didn't have the team, like everybody there. I don't think there was some injuries still.
They had. I think that's what I heard too. They had some injuries.
So, I mean, unfortunately, that would have, if the injuries weren't there and stuff like that, I think it might have been a closer series.
Yeah.
Right. Probably a little bit longer, but you always get that. Yes, there is, and yes, you may not take it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, you kind of knew Carolina was going a little further than the first
than the Devils. Yeah, for sure.
Right. It's just, I don't even know, man. It's been a little while since the Devils actually got into the secondary like season, right? Like the postseason. So we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah. And then the other one in the Eastern Conference that was a 4-1, like done in 5 games, 4-1 series was the Florida and Tampa, which actually surprised me a little bit because I thought Tampa would have put up a little bit more of a fight, but
they don't have.
I know they've gotten rid of several people. With
They're getting older,
and they are getting older, yeah. But I don't know what was. I remember at some point. I can't remember what the hell it's called now.
Who knows? I think I might have known it, but I'm not.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I don't know
remember what the
where,
hell it was before that.
she's
Yeah.
just fucking with us now.
Yeah,
Now
I
she's
know.
just now she's pulling up
How
random
old do you think
questions.
we are? Like, geez.
Yeah, like, seriously, because of my platinum beard.
But I also heard that Florida one was rough. Like, there was a lot of penalties in that series, man. Between Tampa and Florida.
So you think Tampa was playing rough? Sorry, yeah, Florida was playing rough. Dominion Hockey Challenge
Yeah,
Cup.
that sounds familiar. Yeah,
Doesn't sound familiar at all to me.
no, it does. It does sound familiar.
Maybe for
I wouldn't have got it, but yeah, it does sound familiar.
The Dominion Bank. I don't know. Maybe makes sense.
Well, anything Dominion, even Dominion Trucking Company, they've been around probably since the 40s or 50s. Even like Dominion itself is something that's been around since the 1800s. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, probably. And who knows?
And then the last one in the Eastern Conference, obviously, is the Toronto-Ottawa game. I was happy they were up 3-0. I really wanted to see them sweep it, but man, I don't know. A lot of overtime, three straight overtimes.
You know what I can say
that's
about
that was a close series, man. Like I hate Ottawa, but I mean that was a close, and they're gonna have a powerhouse team down the road. They're looking strong.
Oh yeah,
they're still young, but give them another year or so, that team's gonna be, you know,
it's another wild card team. So you know they're coming up, right?
Yep.
So I mean, usually the wild card teams are the teams that are coming up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, even with Montreal was 2% chance at the Four Nations to get into the Stanley Cup, right? You know, it's unbelievable. But this is the thing I was saying about the having a bigger team is that was it Berube? What's the coach's name there? Berube on your Leafs?
Yeah, Craig Berube, the coach.
Yeah. He won it with Stanley Cup with the biggest players. That was St. Louis, the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup when they had the biggest players. That's Beddington's first year.
Yeah, they had a lot of big, especially on the D.
That was the year he told me about, right?
Yeah.
And he says they're the biggest team. Watch, they're gonna win the cup. And they sure enough won the cup.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so you bet things like this. And if you look at stats, that Toronto right now has the biggest team in the playoffs. Size and height.
Oh, do they? I didn't think they did.
No, yeah. And they're even bigger.
Okay. I know they have, especially with the addition there of of Carlo too. I mean, that guy's like, what is he, 6'5" or whatever? He's a big boy.
Yeah. So they're full size guys that they can take the beating for 7 rounds, for 7 games if they have to.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of teams that's where they can't. You know, this is what shows real hockey. This is after playing a season. The season is just a little bit, it's like shinny hockey to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to tournament style hockey, this is no bullshit. Right? Like you forget who the person in front of you is when you get on the ice, right? Even if they're your best friend.
Right? That's why I say it's business, right? So, what is this one here? What is the shortest game? What teams had the shortest game? What do you mean shortest game?
I don't know. Her questions are really weird. Eh? Can you believe she?
I'm trying to think.
Writes emails
like what had like the shortest stint in the NHL for a team before they went under, or like was there a game that only played 1 period and then the other 2 got canceled? Or I'm not too sure on that one. She'll have to elaborate. So anyway, that was the Eastern Conference. So obviously moving on now, we have the Leafs playing Florida, which they are on tonight. And last I saw, they were leading 3-1, but I don't know what the score is now. And then the other one is Washington, Carolina. What do you think of that one? Washington, Carolina.
Washington, Carolina.
Yeah.
You know what? That one is going to be interesting. I think it can go both ways, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Carolina's got the team because they're fast, they're taller. You know what I mean? But
do you think it's going to be? I think I can see this one going 6 or 7 games.
Washington's a fucking big team, and I can see it going the distance if Washington doesn't come out ahead. Like,
you're talking 2 teams that went 4-1.
Well, Logan Thompson is playing great hockey,
mm-hmm.
and he's coming off of a high that he didn't get picked to be a Canadian. Oh, okay, I get it for 1 game, so it was 1.
That's why I wasn't sure what she meant. Yeah, so 1 period, then they canceled it. That was probably
Yeah.
way back in what, the 50s or 60s or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe the 70s. I know there's a lot of shit going on in the 70s too.
With the team, yeah, because of the scraps. Right?
Yeah, I know there was that one where the Boston players went up into the stands and they took a skate off and he was trying to stab some
That-
customer, whatever the hell was, like the audience or whatever, right? So, but whatever. That's
yeah, one of the people in the stands.
stands, yeah. But yeah, so I think that anyway. I think that one's going. I think that one's going to go 7 games,
You think
6 or 7
I
games.
think,
Yeah, the Washington,
I think it,
Carolina, and
yeah,
I don't
I
know
think
about the Toronto. I don't know about the Toronto, Florida one, man. I mean,
it's another one that can go along. It all depends on.
I think that one I think is going to go
Problem
probably
is-
6 games.
The problem is the way that a lot of the way they played against Ottawa. If they play like that against
31.
Florida, it's going to hurt them. All right. So
Sorry, say it again. If what?
if a lot of the teams, oh look, Michelle's with
yes.
the score.
Yes. Good
The
stuff.
thing is that the way that they played against they can't play the way they played against Ottawa. They really got to step it up. This is not like a bullshit game right now.
Well,
right?
no, but
Like,
they're also a dirtier team too.
well, this is what I mean, and you got to remember, like I said, Toronto's got a big team. They can take it.
Mm-hmm.
They just gotta
Oh, yeah.
stop being. They gotta stop being princesses and not worry about the hits that they're gonna take, or maybe even delivering some good ones back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, there are certain players that have to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're there for the reason. Like you can't keep just changing for let's say for Toronto, you can't keep just changing the coach and the goalie every fucking year and hoping for the best.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, this is
Gotta stand up.
if you're gonna do it, I think this has got to be the year. The rest of the team, they're getting up there. They've been trying for the last 7 years or 6 years. They had this core of greatness between Marner and Matthews and Tavares and now Nye. You know what I mean? It's just they're not going to stay together. They're not going to be able to afford to keep them all together like that forever. I mean, they've been trying now for years, and they just haven't. Whether, like you said, whether it be their bad coach, like wrong coach for them, or the goaltending, or it's always something, man. Like it just their defense has always been sketchy going into the playoffs. I mean, at least this year they've got a better defense core. The upbringing of the new ones, like especially with Nyes, that kid is unbelievable, man. To watch him, he is a big, strong kid, and he's something else to watch.
He's something else to watch, eh?
Yeah. Yep.
So the thing is, what was the word I was going to say? Nice. The problem is their goaltending. Still, you're still not 100% on your goaltending.
I'm pretty confident. I don't mind the goaltending. I would take this year's goaltending over anything that we've had for quite a long time. I think Stolzar is a fantastic goalie. He's actually proven himself even in the regular season, and I still like Wall. I still think he's a great goalie.
But I think
I'm not worried. And your goaltending is only as good as what your defense is too.
But that's what I mean. I think the defense has gotten a lot better in front of them.
Oh, it has, yeah.
So, because they didn't really touch the top lines when it came down to things, but what they came when. Well, I mean, they added a few things, right? But nothing crazy, right? So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens, right? Like they really want that revenge on Florida too. Yeah. Like you can tell they.
Oh, I know because we lost.
Yeah. So, I mean, every team you've probably lost out to right now. So I mean, you guys want revenge on everybody.
What team is in the playoffs every year since during the league? That's going to be probably like Vegas or something.
Probably. Yeah. It's got to be somebody like that because they're new, right? And they're still. I'm looking at the teams now that are on there.
It's gotta be Vegas. It's probably Vegas.
Yeah, it can't be Minnesota because Minnesota was only a trade over team, wasn't it?
No, they actually they were they expansion or they went back into an expansion because I know Minnesota North Stars went under and then became Dallas. But I think they came up in one of the expansions, like with they got another team, like along like with Colorado, like Colorado and them and all that shit. So,
but Colorado came from Quebec.
Oh yeah, that's
Right.
right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. They did too. Yeah.
So
It was like the
yeah,
Atlanta.
that's the one that
Well, yeah,
makes
even
sense.
they came from Winnipeg and they went back.
That's the only one on here that would make sense to me.
Yeah, that's
Because
what I'm thinking. Anyway, I'm thinking Vegas.
you could say something like St. Louis maybe, or
No, I think St. Louis has been out too. Yeah, it is. It's Vegas. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So
okay, so the Western Conference. So you have
this was fun. This
speaking
one
of
was
Vegas, so
fun.
you have Vegas and Minnesota that went to 6 games, and they won it 4-2.
Okay, listen. I went deep on fucking Minnesota. Okay, I picked the fucking dude, and the players that I had picked, I'll give you credit. If they made it to the second round, the points they were racking up in the first round, I would have probably been pretty good up in there.
You were
But
going for the heartstrings, thinking that Fleury was going to have a
no, I didn't even care about
stellar
Fleury.
playoff because it's his last, right?
No, but it wasn't even about Fleury because I know Kaprizov and Boldly and all that. I had them on my regular hockey pool and
Yeah, man, they
consistently
great
all year.
players. Again,
So
another team that I think down the road is going to be really good too. Is Minnesota.
scary
They
too.
got a lot of great young talent, like with Boldy and those guys.
Those guys, you know what I mean? They just pass behind their backs. That's what I love about it. Like they know where everybody's going to be.
And then you have Dallas, Colorado. They had to go 7 games. They had to go 7 games. And Dallas
crazy.
won that 4-3. That was crazy. I didn't think Dallas was going to do it. I thought for sure Colorado would have taken that one, but
I thought that one there was the best. Probably, I had thought it was the best series of the so far of the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of that one.
Series I've watched. That one was crazy. I mean, they was going back and forth, and Dallas put up a fucking fight. Okay, so at the end of the day, I thought, okay, this is probably the best hockey I've seen. Right?
Yeah.
But then you end up getting St. Louis and Winnipeg. Okay. And I caught the second part of that.
That was a good the last night's game almost went into triple overtime. Like I think there was only like 2 or 3 minutes left of the second overtime.
Did you see just to tie the game, the way they pulled
the
that.
Amount of penalties in that game last night.
Oh, bro.
It was
crazy.
That was they were fun. They knew game 7, everything's on the line. Right. So it was nuts.
And it's another US. One of your things so funny about that series is it was basically like the 4 nations, but Biddington is playing for a US team.
I know. Yeah.
It's playing for Canadian team.
Yep.
And exactly. I honestly still believe right in that game, in that series, that Biddington was the better goalie. Hellebuck, and he's one of those guys that he needed this win because he chokes under pressure.
Yeah.
He's a great goalie, but he does choke.
Well, look at the
pressure.
last several playoffs, man. I mean, Winnipeg's been ousted either first round or right away in the second round, right? But I don't know.
But that's what I mean, right? So
yeah,
at the end of the day, it was okay. So
to get down, just so that we're talking about Dallas and St. Louis, they went 7 games as well and finished last night in double overtime for Winnipeg to move on, which is fantastic.
Yeah, for the Avalanche and for Dallas, you mean?
Winnipeg and St. Louis.
Winnipeg and St. Louis, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
So yeah, Winnipeg.
Yeah,
St. Louis,
we already talked with the Dallas. We know that they went on. Unless you want to talk more about the Colorado game.
Well, they literally the Winnipeg St. Louis game just for Winnipeg to tie it up. They pulled Hellebuck right for quite a I think it was 2 minutes because they needed 2 goals.
Yeah.
They need 1 to tie it to go to overtime. Or no, 2 was it 2 to tie it? No, it was 1 at that point. They needed. So they got that overtime goal with like 1.6 seconds left. Right? Yeah. So it was crazy. And then they went into overtime. And then they went 2 rounds of overtime. Like
almost
two full periods. Yeah, almost a third. So that would have made like a 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
Right? And these guys, they were exhausted on the ice, dude. Watching that skate.
No doubt.
So the thing was with that hop with Biddington, they caught him most that night. They caught him a lot with that deflection. I've seen them use that a lot on him.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's something that throws him off, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Right? He's a taller guy, so who knows? Maybe it just throws him off. But to be honest with you, It was just, to me, it was amazing. I felt bad because they had the camera on Binnington,
Yep.
and he's watching the Canadians celebrate. Like I don't
Oh,
think
I know.
I don't know. Like Toronto, they're loud. Okay, everybody
Yep.
over here is loud, but like I think we were talking about it earlier. When they
Oh,
win,
Winnipeg, their arena, that Sea of White, they call it. Holy shit, that's got to be one of the loudest arenas.
the streets, I can only imagine what the bars were like. The streets
Yeah.
were flooded over there. Like literally, it looked like it was snowing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I know Montreal does it big too when they cheer,
Yeah.
and it's loud in the stadium, but I don't think it's anything like I've seen Winnipeg. Montreal's got a fucking their stadium has a fight when it comes to it's gonna have when it comes to Winnipeg, the way they cheer. Oh my god, Toronto, like you said, it's a lot of executives and stuff. You don't get that.
Oh,
crazy.
Toronto's
outside.
they've always it's always been like that, man. Ever since they moved to Air Canada Center from Maple Leaf Gardens, and they had the executive silver seats or whatever the hell, the platinum seats, and all you have now is businessmen down there doing their dealings and shit. They're, you know what, they can get loud, but not like some of the other.
Nothing like they
could be a lot better. They used to be really good, but not. My opinion anyway. I find that they're not as loud as some of the other rinks, especially Winnipeg. Winnipeg has always been one of the loudest rinks, man.
Yeah, no, I know it's nuts, and then now with them getting into the second round, this is going to be fun for Dallas.
Well, it's going to be awesome. And as for the question for the oldest player, I mean, that's if you're talking way back 30s, 40s, 50s, you've got me on that one because I don't know a lot of the players. But my guess, if I were to have to guess, I know Gordie Howe came back for a little bit. I don't know whether he'd be the oldest. It's possible that either Giordano or Chelios. I'm trying to think ones that played way into their Guy Lafleur maybe, ones that came back and played into their high 40s. It could be what's his name? Played for Toronto there. He came from San Jose. He just retired too.
From San Jose.
The one that Austin Matthews stayed with for a little bit. The fuck's his name? Oh my god. Can't believe I have a brain fart here.
Hyman? No. That's not.
No,
he's in.
He played out his whole entire career basically with San Jose. Then he came to Toronto because he's from this area.
Oh, Thornton.
No, not Thornton. The other one, M's. I think it starts with M. Last name.
Who the fuck starts with an M?
I don't know. Oh my god. Anyway, whatever. It'll eventually come to me. It could be him. It was Gordie Howe, 52. Okay.
In 11 days.
In 11 days.
I guess somebody else was 52.
Yeah. 52 in 9 days. I think he's the only one that played into his 50s in the NHL. I think. I don't know. No, I'm not. No, it wasn't Joe Thornton. Marleau. Patrick Marleau. That was it.
Patrick Marleau. Oh, yeah.
Patrick Marleau. He was, because I know he scored a couple of goals, and he's another player that played into his mid to late 40s, I think. So I know Chelios was one of the oldest defensemen. He was like 47 or 48, I think, when he stopped playing.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of these guys keep going. Look, Ovechkin's going to keep trying too every year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Was going until now he's in just the KHL, but he's still playing. He's still doing something.
Oh yeah, no, yep.
And
so the last one for the Western Conference. What's that? Say it again.
Like it's not like he's it's that easy in the KHL either. It's like an NHL,
man.
Right?
KHL's it's a tough league too.
Yeah.
So the last one would be the LA Edmonton game. That was one hell of a series. That's the one that I watched the most. And I thought that was a fantastic series. That was really good.
I thought Los Angeles was going to take it, to be honest with you.
They made me. I thought so too. I thought, what the hell is Edmonton doing, man? And then all of a sudden, once they came back to Edmonton, then they just turned it around. Yeah, and they won that. They won that series 6 games, 4-2.
Yeah, Los Angeles this year got hot, and or after they signed Quick. I know that it was a Quick that they signed.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Once that happened, right? Yeah. I think that happened. I think it changed. The whole the team, they just work. They're working great. Everybody who's on that team, you got some old school players. You got some old time. Like they had a good mixture, and I think
Mhm.
depending on how long that's going to stick together, it's always good to have
Which
some
the
vets.
LA, you mean, or
Yeah.
or Edmonton?
LA,
LA. Yeah.
Edmonton.
Yeah, well, they still have Kopitar. They still have
I mean, they have some vets in there, right?
Dowdy,
Yeah,
a
Dowdy.
bunch of other. They had about 2 or 3 vets that have been actually there
Philip
almost
Deneau.
their entire career,
Philip
right?
Deneau was still playing center, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what I mean. And then the
Well,
addition of Byfield with all the newer ones and
yeah.
Spence and all those ones. Yeah,
So that was interesting.
yeah,
And you know that was going to be a nail biter, right?
yeah, yeah. Like
But
I figure like I said, I thought they would have taken one at least in LA, and when they came back the way they were looking, down 2-0, I thought, oh shit. I was getting a little nervous, but then they finally turned it around, and especially with Picard in that, or Pickard, or whatever the hell his name, Pickard or
yeah,
Picard.
he switched
I
him
mean, at
up.
least
That's
used
what
to
happened.
have him too, and he never played like that, man.
Well, the problem is Edmonton. That's the one thing they've been having is issues with the goalie because they're not
Always.
consistent.
Always, that has been one of their number one faults for years in the playoff. Unfortunately, has been goaltending.
In the playoffs. Yeah,
yeah.
So that's the problem. It's not their score. The fucking team can put up points and numbers, man.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. They've
They
got the
need-
talent. That's for 100% sure. So
They literally need 2 players.
yeah. All right. So which team won 4 Stanley Cups in a row? I mean, shit. That could be Edmonton. That could be the Islanders.
Pittsburgh,
Detroit. I don't think Pittsburgh did. They won 2 in a row. To
I
do
know they
4 in a
have
row, that's and it depends. Are you talk if you're talking the original 6? I mean, shit. That could be Montreal. That could be Toronto. Probably back then, even Detroit, Boston, the Rangers. Yeah, it was the Islanders. Okay, I think that was their. I think that was their. Yeah, she would know. That's right before Edmonton had their dynasty team, the Islanders. I think that's what it was. Was early '80s. Islanders won 4 straight, and then after that, it was Edmonton. I think went 3 maybe.
So 3.
Yeah.
Oh, 3. Yeah, that's Gretzky, right? Times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anybody can answer. No,
Montreal
2. They won 4 in a row. That wouldn't surprise me. And again, I don't know if it's again pre-67 or because pre-67 you only had 6 teams, so of course you're going to get teams that are going to be winning it a lot more often once you start after the expansion.
Even when the conferences and the divisions were different, right? And you only had
I think so.
Right?
I don't even know how it worked back then. Like, because you only have 6 teams. I guess you would. What would it be, like 3-3 or like what? Well, it'd be interesting.
I think it was just conference 1 and 6, and it was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
so
now going into second round, you're going to have Vegas and Edmonton. Where are you going to go with that? What are you thinking with that one?
It's going to be an interesting one, but if McDavid gets a little bit pissed off, they're going to come around.
Yeah.
I hope Aiden Hill doesn't play the game he played. Like, I mean, he's a great Canadian goalie too.
That's my guess. Rangers.
Aiden Hill's a pretty great goalie, so but I mean, they have the people that can score on him if they have to.
Wow. Okay, there you go. So that was probably pre-67, is what I'm thinking. So
pre-67, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So which team had the longest? What was another one?
The other one was which team ended the longest Stanley Cup drought in 2010? I think it's the Rangers. That's my guess. I think didn't the Rangers play Vancouver in 2010, and then they end up winning? Again, I could be wrong, but I don't know.
2010, it could have been.
But yeah, so Vegas and Edmonton. Again, I think this is going to go probably 6-7 games.
She's got it pre-70.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pre-60s, yeah. Blackhawks won it in 2010? I thought it was the Rangers. Again, it's because it goes. I know Chicago won the cup, yeah, but
That was
I
what
wasn't sure.
Taves
That's
thing.
2010. I thought that was 2010 because that was the Olympic year too, and I thought Vancouver had gone to the Stanley Cup final against the Rangers. But maybe again because of the way it splits through the years, because you got 09, 010, then you got 10, 11. So maybe it was the 10, 11 one. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like baseball where you can just say 87, right? It's because they play within 1 year.
Hey, she's having a good time, man. She's just Googling these stats, these questions, and throwing them up there for us.
49, eh? No shit.
She's
Well,
probably sitting-
hopefully we'll break that
Yeah.
record this year, and hopefully Toronto will win it. That'll be the longest.
Hey, she's sitting at home giggling, going, hey, look
Yeah.
at these guys getting them on the. But yeah, because there's a delay, so it keeps coming in a little later. So you think Edmonton's going to pull it off? If their goaltending
I think
can
so.
stick it out,
I think Edmonton's going to win it in 7.
but they got to score quick. They got to score quick, and they got to
Yeah.
score. They got to
Yeah.
keep, they got to keep the pressure on, because you don't want too many people beside your goalie if you're not sure, right? Like their goalie can have a good night.
Although you're talking, it's a Canadian team going into the second round. I don't know whether Bettman will allow that. So if that's the case, it'll probably be Dallas will probably win, and then Vegas will win because there'll be too many Canadian teams in the playoffs. Bettman won't have that.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking guy, man. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing the commercials that we need to bring the cup home. The cup's here all year round.
Yeah, really.
So,
yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, it'd be nice to see it back in Canada for at least a fucking year, but that's never gonna happen. Well, I mean, it could happen, but you're not gonna have like Winnipeg playing Toronto. You're never gonna have that. You're gonna have. I can't see it in the foreseeable future. I mean, you might the way
personally myself, and this is just my opinion. Of course, this is my opinion only. You'll never see two Canadian teams for the Stanley Cup because it's not good for the U.S. market.
Well, I've been saying that forever, but don't you think they had enough teams for the U.S. market? Like, really, to be honest with you, like, come on.
I think there's too many teams in the NHL. Personally, I think it's draining the talent pool. I think there should. I liked it better when they only had 21 teams.
Talent coming up. There's always talent coming up, and there's a lot more people to go around, right? So that's the thing, right? You're gonna keep these teams. It's just gonna keep getting bigger. One day we're gonna see there'll be 6 more teams added to this list, or they'll expand teams in and out, right?
That's why I stopped watching
switch
all
states,
of it.
right?
I don't even watch.
Well, they'll switch states, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So, what do you think the Winnipeg one's gonna do?
I want to say Winnipeg because I think Winnipeg had obviously they're the President's Trophy winner. But Dallas is one of those teams that just like what they did with Colorado, they sneak up on you, and when you're not looking, they bite you in the ass, man. And Winnipeg, and it also depends on who's the one that just got injured. Was it Scheifele or whatever?
Right.
He didn't.
Yeah.
So you gotta. It depends on what it depends on what their injuries are. So, but
and unless it's series ending, they're never gonna say it, right?
I know I know Neek's question. Well, before we get to Neek's question, quickly, this I have no clue. I've heard the name because I also heard there was like a controversy about why they started to ban the hockey song. Or you're talking the hockey song as in what's his name from PEI there, Stompin' Tom Connors. Yeah, I don't know if that's the hockey song you're talking about, or if you're talking about the actual anthem from
Hockey Night in Canada.
That Saturday Night Live used to, or Saturday Night Hockey used to play. But if it's the Stompin' Tom one, yeah. And then Nico's this one I know for sure. I think his name's JT. I think he's last in the pool.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
they've already. I forgot to tell that to Nico. I already didn't say it, but on here they've already wrote me saying, "Oh, get ready." I think my brother wrote, "Get ready to put your put the hockey pool picks back in next year." I said, "What if I don't play next year? Then what are you gonna
do?" Yeah. Well, I guess it's whoever came in second last. Then I guess they're gonna be stuck.
They're all scared. They're all scared of Nico. That's all I know. In that
yeah. I hear the boss has got quite the team. Yeah, you see, he picked smart. He spread his all around.
He's spread ego, buddy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, spread.
Um,
So what is your
he,
what is your view on the Winnipeg Dallas? What do you think?
I want to see Winnipeg go through.
So do
I
I.
mean, I don't.
I want
obviously,
to as well, but
I need to keep that one player so I don't lose everybody. I need to, at least get 1 point every little while just to say, hey,
Nice.
guys, look at that. I'm creeping up slowly.
yeah. You'll have to do pictures if you do win it again.
He hasn't. I know. I've been waiting him to upload the some videos to the Lambeau Cup site.
Nice.
Like I'm waiting for him to start eating, spaghetti out of it just to watch everybody cringe.
Do something like mushroom soup.
Even the best part is if my nephew wins the pool, let's say,
Yeah.
he doesn't get the cup for the first year, so it stays with Nico.
So there you go.
And Nico got it late this year, so
Yeah. Nice.
nobody would hand deliver it to him like they're supposed to.
They're supposed to.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. So you know what? When Nico, if he loses it, then you know what? They got to come pick it up.
Oh, cool.
Because
make a little album. Right? Yeah, that's funny, man.
If I don't win this year, some interesting photos.
He's probably taking a piss inside the cup.
Dude, next time I get the cup, I'm laying naked with it.
Oh God, we don't want to see that.
Well, no, I'm just gonna
leave those photos for Anna.
I'm just gonna send it to the chat. Not you guys, my brother and all them, and my cousin.
Shit. So round 2 starts tonight. I haven't seen what I'm assuming it's still 4-1. Otherwise, my wife would have probably put whatever the score is. What is it?
Well, end of the second, it was 4-1. So I don't know if
it's still 4-1. Okay. So first game started tonight. I don't know what the rest of the schedule. That's one thing I didn't look at was the schedule. But I know in the next few games you're getting the Washington, Carolina. Then you got Edmonton, Vegas, and Winnipeg, Dallas.
Carolina and Washington tomorrow.
Still 4-1. Okay.
Edmonton and Vegas tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the 6th, you got 7th. Sorry, you got back to Florida and Toronto, and then Dallas and Winnipeg will start. Right. So it'll be 2-2 every night. It looks like.
Yeah.
Right.
1931.
See that? You're supposed to hit the button like Steve
at halfway through second. Why?
Because because Price Stolars is hurt.
I don't know.
It's the only thing that makes sense. He let one goal in, so you can't say it's bad. So it must have maybe got hurt.
I don't know.
Right?
Interesting.
That's the only thing that makes sense when you put a goalie in that quick.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're not going to start. You're not going to decide to give him playoff experience in the second round now. All of a sudden, unless you have to, right?
Maybe you had to use the washroom.
Montreal, we lost the goalie. We lost our starter, and then they put the backup in, right?
No,
they put that rookie kid in.
He played pretty good though. That rookie.
Hey, you know what? I give him credit, man. Yeah, he's got a different style play, and you know what? He can become really good if he really, he's quick back and forth. You know what I mean? Most goalies look like they're on crack anyways when they're in that. No wonder Greg Fuhr used to do cocaine.
Okay, what's your guess on that one? I said 1931.
Original indoor hockey game played.
You got banged up a bit. Ah, fuck.
All right. See.
That's because they're playing rough and dirty, probably crashing the net. That's what we need to do. Wow, for the indoor, 1875. Because I know a lot of the games were played outdoors in the early 1900s. Looks like he is sick throwing up
1875
in a bucket. Took a shot to the head. Great.
Oh, wow. Concussion time, baby.
Well, we'll see how good Wall is then.
Bro, Logan Thompson was saving the puck with his head the other night against Montreal, all kinds. Then he was puking. Wow, this game is getting interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Yep. Well, they got one period to figure it out. They better not fuck it up. What's that?
All that adrenaline. Just took all adrenaline.
Yeah.
Was killing it out there. Yeah, but you know what, man? That's what happens. All it takes is one the head. You get the
Yeah.
ringing in your.
I was
I've
actually,
never-
I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous having him in net on one hand because he's obviously
Why?
came from Florida last year. So they practice on him a lot. They might know where his weakness is. But then on the other hand, it's like it might be good because he also knows where the players like to shoot as well. So
you're
it's like
getting
one of those,
You're getting a
six,
Blackhawk. You're
six of
getting
one,
a,
half a dozen the other.
you're getting a what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for?
I have no
Barkov
idea.
slap shot to the head, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, any slap
gonna
shot
hurt.
really to the head's gonna fucking sting. And trust me, I've been hit in the head enough times with a puck. Your ears fucking ring like a motherfucker. So
See, I've never been hit in the head.
Oh,
I
dude,
think I've only been
hit in the
dropped.
head. I've been hit in the head with the puck so many times and in the throat. It's
I think I've only been dropped, man. On my head a few times.
The only one that dropped me hard was the one in the throat.
I think my family did it on purpose.
What's this? Did you give the predictions for the second round yet? Yeah. Well, let's just go over them again. Let's start in the Eastern Conference. The Washington, Carolina. Go ahead, JT. You can start it. Give me your prediction on how many games.
How many games?
How many games and who you think's going to come out of it?
6, and I think Carolina is going to come out of it. Unless, like I said, Logan Thompson stands on his head like he's been doing, but we'll see.
I say Carolina is going to come out of it as well, but I think it's going to go to 7 games. So that's that one. Let's do the Toronto. We're staying in the Eastern Conference because we're already there. We'll go to Toronto and Florida.
6 and 7. So I'm going to put JT and Rob. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Washington and
Carolina. We both picked Carolina. Me for 7, right, you for 6.
We're going Toronto and Florida now.
Toronto, Florida. Yep.
Okay, Toronto and Florida. Go ahead. What do you think?
I say Toronto and 6.
I say Florida and 7. If they get, I'm going to say Florida and 7. If they get to Game 7, I don't think Toronto's got the chance. But now we lost the.
But don't forget, Game 7's in Toronto.
Yeah, who cares? Doesn't make a difference to me.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Western Conference. Let's do Dallas, Winnipeg.
So what did I say? I said 7. Sorry.
Yeah, you said 7. I said Leafs and 6.
All right, 7 and 6. Go ahead. And we got which one?
So now Dallas and Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, yeah. So
excellent. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Next round, I'm in trouble.
Traitor.
No. Come on, I know she's got more. Okay.
So sorry, Dallas, Winnipeg.
Dallas, right? So I think Winnipeg in 4.
Winnipeg in 4.
Yeah, I'm going to go and say it. I'm going to go and go crazy with that type of fan base.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. And that motivation behind you.
Yeah. Hey, fair enough. Yeah, because they have home ice advantage throughout the entire thing. So.
Well, I think Hellebuyck just needed that first win. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna say Winnipeg as well because I do think Winnipeg will beat Dallas, but I think it's going to be in 6.
In 6.
Yeah.
6 and I said 4. Okay, and then we got Vegas and Edmonton.
Vegas and Edmonton. You go ahead, buddy.
I want Edmonton in 6. Yeah, Edmonton in 6.
I say Edmonton in 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got our predictions in. So we got Washington and Carolina. I said Carolina in 6. You said in 7.
Yeah, you know what? That means that it's going to be 2 Canadian teams for the Western Conference, and I don't know whether Bettman will allow that or not.
Yeah, but in the Western, it's not as long as it's not the end. Unless it's not the end, I don't know.
Yeah, because there's no way because I want Toronto to go all the way. So
some of those big teams there, the problem is
you know what?
It might be a Canadian year.
I doubt it. It's probably going to be Dallas. Damn it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to leave it the way it is.
Because you never know, man. I mean,
You never know. You never know, but I still think
on that side, you know what, it could happen because they have a lot of big players. I mean, they have a lot of big teams that don't need the money. In it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fact, yeah.
I know.
Hey, we didn't pay them anything yet.
Yeah, exactly.
No, actually,
but yeah, I don't know. I think
you can't change it now. It's locked in, buddy.
I know it's locked in. I know. I just can't see it. I don't think it's going to be 2 Canadian teams for the Western.
Well, you know, bro, like I said, there's been a lot of teams that have been on there. It's been, you know, double U.S. teams sometimes, quite a few times. So,
you know what? I bet you I won't change it, but yeah. But I bet you actually Dallas is probably going to come out of that one because Winnipeg is notorious for choking.
Winnipeg,
and if Scheifele is out,
I think just Hellebuyck needed to get over that hump.
You think so? Yeah.
Yes.
Because I really think so. Edmonton. Well, and again, I don't know about Edmonton because it all depends about Pickard. He might have gotten lucky in that series, but is he going to be able to keep up?
Are any of them going to be able to keep up? That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah. Oh, interesting, man. Interesting.
So,
okay, well, that's our predictions then.
Yes, just Nico's just jealous because our girlfriends our girlfriends are glazing us.
That's what they call it. Wife for me.
So, you know, only live show around. That's it. You tell them we're the only live show in town, buddy. For the late night chat.
For now, yep, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah. So guys, that was your predictions are locked in. So we got Rob and me for Carolina in the first round, 6 for me, 7 for
second
Rob.
round.
Sorry, second round. My fault.
Mm-hmm.
Second round for Toronto, Florida. I put Florida in 7, and you put Toronto in 6. Dallas and Winnipeg. We both put them in Winnipeg I put them in for 4. You put them in for 6. And then Edmonton, we both picked Edmonton over Vegas. And I said 6, you said 7.
Yeah.
So it's locked in for next
It is
round.
locked in. I should have changed the Winnipeg one, but that's okay. We'll see what happens.
Well, you know, that's okay.
I've got video proof that I did say it. But
don't second guess your shit. And I tried. I don't do that like I did with the hockey pool. I went in and out. That's it.
I know.
What I was going for. I'm going for the underdogs. I like the underdogs. When it has a W beside their name, that's usually the team I'm going to go for. Whether I win the pool or not, I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It was fun while it lasted. Now I don't have to pay attention anymore until next year, except for the shows because I can watch and focus on hockey now.
That's right. There you go.
Right. So.
Oh, that was awesome, man. Yeah. So that takes care of the first round. And now we've made our predictions for. Actually, we probably should have been on to do our predictions for the first round, but we got going on. The playoffs snuck up on us faster than what we were expecting.
Yeah.
And then once it started, it was okay. Well, we can't do it now. We got to wait for the second round.
Yeah, we got together this year to do the hockey pool, so that kind of cut into a lot of things, and it was just like, you know what, we'll start this off the end of the first round, and we'll go from there because
talk about the first round and then do our predictions for the second.
Yeah, we've never done a hockey one. We thought, okay, let's bring it back and do a live sports show, and you know what, Rob was the one that was kind enough to talk to me about sports. He's usually kind enough to talk to me about anything.
Yeah,
you know. He's the only one that doesn't want to hang up with me unless he's sleeping. So, but we know we'll save that talk.
Yeah, not always. Even there's been times when I've almost fallen asleep on the phone, and I finally just had to say to you, dude, I gotta go, man.
I gotta go. Yeah, my voice for radio, is putting Rob to sleep at night. That's what happens.
Exactly. That's what it is. Yeah, it's a soothing voice. It's like a podcast.
It's all for the co-host.
There you go.
So. Guys, thanks again for tuning into the.
Awesome. It was good to have another live show, man. Yep.
a 2025 NHL live recap of the NHL playoffs. So make sure to tune in the second round when we come out with a second round. Who knows? Maybe we might sneak up with one in between, but we'll see how that goes. But everybody, don't forget to check out Comic Shop Talk. We got those on. That's on weekly. I'm pretty sure it was either released today or tomorrow for sure. I know it was upcoming on my YouTube feed, so you guys keep tuned for that. But always, guys, we got a show coming out every week, whether it be our movie teasers, movie trailer teasers, our movie show, like our reaction videos, right, of the movie, of the TV, of the series, right?
Too
Of the trailers. These guys are throwing me off now with that. But yeah, and we do the movie show, and then we do another show that we do is Letterbox, where we review a bunch of our movies and that we've watched for the week and what we want to see upcoming, right? So guys, always tune in and take a look. There's always stuff. Keep the notifications, like and subscribe, and we'll keep doing it. Hopefully we can bring out some more live shows, because we like how the chat us to get interacted, and it keeps everybody
it is. I do
kind of in contact, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I know it messes with us when we're doing this stuff, but guys, always on the Late Night Chat Network. Okay, your one stop for pop culture talk, and we'll see you again next time. Peace out.
Later.